In this video, we're going to be looking at the difference between coloring and shading with a monochromatic scheme as well as a chromatic scheme. On the left, I will just be using green, black, and white. In this case, white will be my paper for the most part. And on the right, I will be using multiple colors, which you will see in a moment. I've added a light source on the top right to each of my images to let me know where my highlight, cast shadow, core shadow, and midtones would be. When I'm working monochromatically, I need to make sure that I'm layering the same color multiple times, as well as eventually adding a little bit of black in for darker areas. Here I'm adding the cast shadow. With chromatic, on the other hand, I start off very similarly. I start with a base coat with the exception of my highlight area of my green. And then after I get my base coat down, I am going to go ahead and get out multiple different colors that will go with the warmer and cooler tones of my area. For a color like this, I'm probably going to go with yellow for the area that's highlighted and blue for the area that's darker. I may even add in some purples in there as well. Again, with chromatic shading, you're looking not so much at just creating it darker, but also creating a bigger sense of depth. And when you add color rather than just black in order to make it darker, that really helps add dimension and interest into your work. So in this situation, I'm adding blue for the areas that are shaded. And it's okay to layer your colors on. So I might go back in with a harder pressure with my green. In my highlight area, I'm going to go warmer. So I'm going to go with a warmer color like yellow. And I can bring this into some of my midtones as well to blend it together a bit more. Also going to go in with a little bit of violet into my shadow areas as well. This adds even more dimension, more complexity. When you deal with a warm light source, you would have a warm highlight and a cool shadow. And the opposite is true if it is a cool light. Again, so in chromatic shading, I'm really trying not to use much, if at all, of pure black. Often I will combine blue and brown together to create a very dark area that is more saturated. So in the next few minutes, I'm just going to go over some of these again, including adding some white and blending in my areas a bit more. And you will be able to see the difference between chromatic shading and monochromatic shading and see how chromatic adds more sense of depth into your work.